I still remember the day she arrived. It was the summer of 1885, and I was just another dock worker in New York Harbor, loading and unloading cargo, watching the great steamships come and go. But that day, oh, that day was different. That was the day Liberty herself came to America. It started early in the morning. The French frigate Isère had sailed into the harbor, carrying hundreds of wooden crates, each packed with pieces of something grand, something we had heard whispers about for months. The gift from France, they called it, a statue taller than any man, meant to stand as a symbol of friendship and freedom. I remember standing on the dock, shielding my eyes against the rising sun as the ship pulled in. The crates were marked with numbers, carefully cataloged and carried onto the land. There was a buzz among the workers, a sense of excitement that was rare in our line of work. After all, how often did one get to witness the arrival of history itself? For days we unloaded the pieces, her copper limbs, her giant feet, and that unmistakable right arm raised high, holding the torch. Each section was carefully placed on carts and taken to Bedloe's Island, now known as Liberty Island, where she would be assembled atop a massive pedestal still under construction. But assembling a statue of this magnitude was no small task. The French engineer Gustave Eiffel, the very same man who would later build that famous tower in Paris, had designed her framework. He had ensured that the statue could withstand the fierce winds of the harbor. We watched in awe as workers, using pulleys and scaffolding, began piecing her together bit by bit. Then came the struggles. The pedestal, funded by American donations, had faced delays. Money had run short, and the people of New York had to rally to raise funds. A newspaper publisher, Joseph Pulitzer, had started a campaign in the New York World, urging everyday Americans to contribute, rich and poor alike. Miraculously, more than 120,000 people donated, many giving just a few cents, proving that liberty was not just a gift from France, but a statue for the people. As the months passed, the pieces took shape. Her robe flowed as though caught in an eternal breeze. Her left hand clutched a tablet inscribed with July 4th, 1776, the birth date of American independence. But it was her face, solemn, wise, and full of quiet strength, that struck me the most. I'd heard that her face was modeled after the sculptor's mother, and I could believe it. There was a warmth to it. And then, finally, October 28, 1886, the day we had all been waiting for. A thick fog covered the city that morning, but as the sun rose, it slowly lifted, revealing the grand lady in all her glory. President Grover Cleveland arrived, along with thousands of onlookers, sailors, and dignitaries. The air was filled with excitement. Then the moment arrived. A massive French flag draped over her face was pulled away, and the crowd erupted into cheers. Cannons fired from the ships in the harbor, their thunderous roar echoing through the city. Whistles from boats and factories screamed in celebration. I felt a lump in my throat as I gazed up at her. There she stood, Lady Liberty, her torch lifted high, a beacon of hope for all who arrived on these shores. Over the years, I watched as immigrants passed through Ellis Island, their eyes wide with hope as they saw her for the first time. To them, she was not just a statue, she was a promise of freedom, of opportunity, of a new life. And even now, years later, as I stand on the docks and watch the sun set behind her, I know that she will always be here, standing tall, lighting the way for those who dare to dream. The Lady of Liberty, our guardian, our welcome,